Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow Program. Thank you for growing with me. Um, I was listening to the story on Stevie Wonder, and I understand exactly how he felt. I've told you that I've disconnected from this country because of how this country has treated my people, my ancestors, and how it seems no wrongs have been righted. Um, Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. It may seem like we are hopeless and lost, like a ship lost in uncharted waters. But see, what Mr. Stevie Wonder don't even recognize is that we're growing. The Dr. King's dream of a beloved community is going to happen. His people are going to rise as he has said. We are going to reach the promised land. We are on the end of the Underground Railroad. We are the last passengers, and the train is going out of commission. So I understand how he feels. I felt that same way. I felt that pain when I read about and saw what happened and watched what had happened to Zimbabwe as Mr. Cecil Rhodes came in and tore it all apart and named it Rhodesia, until it was proven that there is no such thing as white supremacy. So there are some people who choose to truly believe that that they are white and that they are supreme. They are actually Caucasian, European, but they are not supreme over anyone. There's no such thing as white supremacy. Joe Biden even said so himself. And so we have to begin to end hate speech. That's where it starts. We got to begin to end hate speech. It starts with the police reform that's just happened in Illinois, and the ending of the cash bail system. Congratulations to the legislator and the legislators and the governor of the state of Illinois, Governor Pritzker, Adam Kinzinger, namely, two bipartisan leaders who are able to come together and realize we have a problem and, work together and come up with some solutions. Even though we have differences, we can come together and come up with some solutions. And that's what we're doing with the Grow Program. We growing. We growing in 32 countries and more and more cities. In those countries, we growing through love. We overcoming with love, because see, no matter what somebody bring at you, no matter what chaos, negativity, and drama they try to bring at you, we're not going there no more. See, we're different. It becomes a time, really. It becomes a time. It's like a fork in the road, and you are in this world. And you are not of this world. You become transformed by a renewing of your mind. You become a legend, and you begin to live a legacy. You don't think that way anymore. You don't act that way anymore. You don't do that way anymore. Even though somebody may come at you, and it's a spiritual warfare. So people are going to try to come at you. They come at you with some foolishness. But you know what God said? God said, peace be still. He made the storm be still, over and made the waters be still, and made passage, made it so we are able to pass through. We're able to get through this storm. We're able to make it through because Lord done made a pathway for us. But the pathway is to not turn and go towards evil, and not to turn that way. It's to turn towards the direction of the Lord. Because that there are people here who are put here to torment your soul. Just here to torment others. There are tormented souls. There are spirits. It's spiritual warfare. They're working through folks, and we got to turn to God. Just like when I was in that house, the evil working all around me, all in the midst of me, in my face, everywhere, it's evil, but out of evil came something beautiful, came the Grow Program, keep on pushing the civil rights movement. That's what we doing. Love drives out hate. We gonna keep on. Love drives out hate. We gonna keep on loving. We got to keep rising, people. And you ain't here. just to be going through. You know, you have a God-given purpose. You need to search your heart and find it. Find your God-given purpose, because really, see, what we do is we begin to change us so that we can fit inside somebody else's circle. This is what they want me to do. This is what they need me to be. I need to do this for them, and they need to be here for them. You know, but see, you missing your blessing. You missing your own God-given purpose. What is it that you supposed to be here doing for the Lord? What type of work is you see? Because your God-given purpose ain't to run up behind the pastor and the evangelist and worry about where they at and what they doing. You have a God. We are all conquerors in God. I'm gonna tell you something. We all kings and queens in God's army, honey. I look at everybody as a king and queen in God's army. You know, I'm gonna tell you something. Somebody gave me the beautiful title this morning as Queen of Love, and I graciously accept that. And along with that, I want to have some more kings and queens of love right in my court with me. You know, ain't nobody greater. We all gonna reach our greatness in God. We are all legends. Ain't nobody better than nobody. Ain't nobody got no titles. Nobody got this, that, and the other. We all, you know, one love. Is one love, much love. That's how it is. That's what they used to say. You know, that's what the freedom fighters used to say back in the day. One love. You know, it's one love. It's one love, much love. You know, that's how we gonna be. You know, one love, much love. We're gonna keep spreading love. See, because look, a real true mountain ain't sitting up on no hill by itself, unless it is a hill, a man-made hill. A real true mountain gets so heavy that it can't get no greater. It has to start spreading. It has to start. That's what happened. It spread love, create other mountains. There you go. You know, I want some more mountains around me. So I want some great mountains. You know, we all gonna reach our greatness in God. We are soldiers in this army, fighting a battle, fighting a spiritual warfare. See, the kings and queens back then was fighting the physical battles, you know, to prevent colonization. But now we in the spiritual warfare. We fighting a spiritual battle. And greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. You know, it's a force greater than the evil of this world. And you are not here just to hold your head down and be going through. You know, no matter what, hold your head up. You are a conqueror. You know, and God says so. You are a conqueror, and I want you to rise. You know, I don't care what they told you, you can't do. You know, they said you can't make it. They said you can't do it. They say you ain't in you. But I say it is, and God says so. You know, and so you is going to do it. Get up and do it. You know, be like Nike and do it. You know, that's the reason they said that. Be like Nike and do it. You got to go get you some Nike shirts. Get them. You know, and remind you, be like Nike and do it, because it is you. You know, the power of God is in you, and the will of God and your God-given purpose. And you got to find them. You know, search and find your God-given purpose. We get all caught up in religion, you know, and religion is man-made for money and control. Africans are spiritual. We're a spiritual people. You know, they wasn't going to church over there, you know, before they came, started kidnapping people and bringing them over here. They wasn't congregating on Sunday, going to church. You know, we're spiritual people. We're spiritual beings. We have our own spiritual walk with God. Now, there's certain things that was going on, certain things that wasn't going on, you know, before colonization. You know, but Africans are spiritual. I can tell you that. This is we're like a ship lost in uncharted waters, and we got to find our way again, people. We got to look back, turn around, look back. Don't go back, but look back. Remember where you came from. Now turn around and look ahead so you can see where you're going. Look over to the right. You see that beacon of light? That's me. I'm going to guide you. Now, open that sail back up, because we getting ready to roll. We on the Underground Railroad headed towards genuine equality. That's the destination up ahead, and greatness. We are going to reach our greatness in God. We are going to rise, you know, not going to hold our head down. We're not here just to be going through. You know, I'm meditating, shine light on your circumstances. I'm telling you, you know, I've cried a river of tears. I have been through, you know, I've been through some things, but My life is a testimony, a true testimony, and an open book. It was a time where I wouldn't tell nobody nothing about my life, but what good am I, if I can't be used as a vessel, for God? And that's what I am, to help his people. We all going to rise from oppression. We all going to come up out of this, and we are going to come together as a nation. That's what this administration is headed towards, is us coming together as a nation, us eliminating the myth of white supremacy. There's no such thing. And us coming together in love and driving out the hate, as Dr. King said in his message. So that's the message I would like to get to Mr. Stevie Wonder, to reconsider, have Ghana as like a summer home, and be here to be in the movement, because love drives out hate. This is the end of the civil rights movement. We getting ready to rise as a people. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom all over the world. God bless you.